If you're someone who prefers staying home and you just feel like nobody gets it, this one's for you. We're going to dive into the psychology of why that is. And you're about to see why most people get it so wrong.
And hey, if you stick with me till the end, I promise you'll understand something really important about the way your own mind works.
You've probably heard it all, right? Maybe someone's called you boring, or you get the classic, you just don't go out enough. Some people might even think you're, wasting your life. It's such a common and honestly an unfair judgment.
But what they don't see is what's really happening on the inside. This choice, it isn't about what's on the surface. It's about a much deeper internal process that most people just can't see. Okay, so first things first. Let's just clear the air and talk about what this is not about. We have to bust some of these myths right now. Because choosing to stay in, it's not about being lazy. It's not about being scared of the world. And it is definitely not about apathy or just not caring. These are just easy labels people throw around when they don't get what's really going on. The real reason is actually way more fascinating. It all comes down to how your brain is literally wired, how it processes energy, stimulation, and even emotions. And once you get that, everything else just clicks into place. You know, we live in a world that pretty much gives you a gold star for being loud and busy and social all the time. So yeah, it's easy to assume something's wrong if you choose quiet instead. But from a psychology standpoint, that's not how it works at all.
One of the absolute biggest reasons some of us love staying home comes down to this idea of energy management. Basically, how your brain actually gains or loses energy when you're around other people.
See, for some brains, being social is like plugging into a supercharger. They leave a party feeling totally energized. But for other brains, it's the complete opposite. It's incredibly draining, almost like running a marathon you didn't even sign up for. And just think about it for a second. The constant noise, trying to navigate a crowd, keeping up with 5 conversations at once, all those social expectations. It all takes a ton of mental energy. For some of us, home is just the place where we can finally unplug. So you see, it's not that you hate people, not at all. It's that your mind just recovers best when it's calm, in a low-stimulation place. This isn't about escaping life. It's about properly recharging for it so you can show up on your own terms.
Okay, another huge psychological factor here is our need for control. Our brains are hardwired, from an evolutionary standpoint, to seek out environments that are safe and predictable. It's how we lower our stress levels.
The world out there is, well, unpredictable by nature. You don't control the noise level or the pace of things or the weird social rules. But at home, everything is familiar. Your brain knows exactly what to expect, and when your brain feels that safe, it can finally actually relax.
And that feeling of safety, that's why home isn't just a physical place. It's an emotional state. At home, you don't have to perform. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to be on. For some people, that psychological freedom is way more valuable than any excitement. Peace just feels better than stimulation.
So what's actually happening during all that quiet time at home? Well, I can tell you it is far from empty. In fact, people who genuinely enjoy staying home often have these incredibly rich, active inner lives. They're the ones who think deeply. They reflect on things that happened. They notice little patterns that everyone else, caught up in all the noise, completely misses. And they find real, genuine comfort in the silence. And that is such a key difference. For you, silence isn't some awkward void that you have to fill with chatter. It's open space. It's room to breathe, to process, to create, to just be. Your mind is already buzzing with activity, which is why you don't get bored so easily when you're on your own. And this all brings us to a really crucial point, where we need to redefine what connection even means, because this is where most people really get it wrong.
Liking your own company doesn't mean you dislike other people. Not at all. It just means you value meaningful connection over constant connection. It's not about wanting less interaction, it's about wanting better interaction. It's a total shift from valuing quantity to valuing quality, from noise to depth. So, if staying home just feels right to you, please, hear this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're not antisocial, you're not falling behind in life. Your mind is simply designed to prioritize calm, clarity, and emotional balance. And in this loud, crazy world we live in, that's actually a superpower. I really want you to let this next thought sink in. The problem was never, ever you.
The real problem was trying to explain how you're wired to people who are wired in a completely different way. It's like you were speaking 2 different languages of what it feels like to be alive.
And the moment you truly get that it's just a difference, not a defect, that's the moment you can finally stop apologizing for honoring what your mind and body need. You can stop feeling guilty for just being you.
So if this whole time you've been thinking, wow, that's me, I just want you to know you are so far from alone. This is a totally valid, powerful way of being in the world. And just understanding that is the first step to really, truly owning it.